August 14th, 1958, 3:47 p.m. commission meeting, the Ravenite Social Club, Little Italy. Vito Genovese was consolidating power, eliminating rivals, taking territory. He looked across the table at Bumpy Johnson, smiled that cruel, confident smile. "Bumpy, we've been patient, but patience has limits. Small's Paradise, your club in Harlem. We're taking it, not asking, taking. You can walk away with some money, or you can resist and lose everything. Your choice. But either way, that club is ours in 30 days. The room went quiet. Small's Paradise wasn't just a club. It was Harlem's crown jewel, the place where black excellence flourished, where musicians played, where community gathered, where Bumpy held court. Taking it wasn't business, it was a statement, a humiliation, a declaration that nothing in Harlem was safe. Bumpy looked at Vito, face calm, voice steady. "Small's Paradise isn't for sale, not to you, not to anyone." Vito's smile widened. "Then you're a fool. We're not asking permission. We're informing you of reality. 30 days. Enjoy your club while you still have it." Bumpy stood up, left the meeting, said nothing else. But everyone who knew him recognized that silence, that dangerous, calculating silence. And they knew. This wasn't over. 72 hours later, Vito Genovese received an eviction notice, not for his office, not for his club, for his home, the building where he lived, where his family lived, where he'd felt safe for 15 years, and the landlord demanding eviction, Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson. This is the story of how threatening to take someone's business results in losing your home. To understand what happened, you need to understand Small's Paradise in 1958. It wasn't just a nightclub, it was an institution. Opened in 1925 by Ed Smalls. By the 1950s, it was the most famous black nightclub in America. Politicians visited, celebrities performed. Malcolm X held meetings there. It represented something bigger than entertainment. It represented black autonomy, black success, black power in a world that tried to deny all three. And Bumpy Johnson? He'd become part owner in 1952, protected it, nurtured it, made sure it stayed independent, because Small's Paradise wasn't about profit. It was about dignity. And Vito Genovese threatening to take it, that was threatening dignity itself. But Vito didn't understand what he was really threatening. Didn't understand that Small's Paradise was sacred to Harlem. Didn't understand that attacking it would unite the community against him. Didn't understand that Bumpy Johnson would respond not with violence, but with strategy, with intelligence, with a move so sophisticated that Vito wouldn't see it coming until it was too late. The day after the commission meeting, August 15th, Bumpy called a man named Samuel Grant. Samuel was 52 years old, a real estate lawyer, one of the few black lawyers in New York who specialized in property law. He'd helped Bumpy with various purchases over the years, legitimate businesses, buildings, investments. Samuel was smart, discreet, and very good at finding information. "Samuel, I need you to research something. Vito Genovese. Where does he live? Who owns the building? What's the mortgage situation? What debts exist? I want to know everything about the property where he keeps his family." Samuel called back 6 hours later. "Bumpy, this is interesting. Vito lives in a building on East 81st Street, upscale. But here's the thing. The building isn't owned by him directly. It's owned by a holding company. Coastal Properties, Enclosed. And that company? It's leveraged, heavily. They took out loans to buy the building in 1943. Those loans were restructured in 1952. Current debt is about $300,000. The building is worth maybe $400,000, so there's equity, but not much. And the loan payments? They're current, barely. Last 3 months they've been late, by days, not weeks. But late. Bumpy asked the important question. Who holds the debt? Who's the lender? First Liberty Bank. Small institution, specializes in real estate lending. They've got about $2 million in total loans out. This is one of their biggest. Bumpy made a decision. "Samuel, I want you to approach First Liberty Bank, not in my name. Use one of your corporate entities. Tell them you're interested in buying distressed debt. Ask if they have any loans they'd consider selling at a discount. Don't mention Coastal Properties specifically. Just see if it comes up." Samuel understood immediately. "You want to buy Vito's mortgage?" I want to buy his building, Bumpy corrected, or at least control it. If I own the debt, I own the leverage, and leverage is power. Over the next 48 hours, Samuel negotiated. First Liberty Bank was struggling. Several loans had defaulted. They needed cash. When Samuel offered to buy a portfolio of loans at 70 cents on the dollar, they jumped at it. The portfolio included 12 properties. One of them was Coastal Properties, Inc., the building where Vito Genovese lived. For $210,000, Bumpy Johnson became the holder of Vito's mortgage, and with it, he gained something Vito never expected: control. Because when you own someone's debt, you own their stability, their security, their home. August 17th, Samuel completed the purchase, called Bumpy. It's done. You now hold the note on Vito's building, $210,000. Payments are currently 60 days past due, which means legally you have the right to demand full payment, and if they can't pay, you can foreclose. Bumpy smiled. Not a happy smile, a strategic smile. Send them a notice, legal, professional. Inform Coastal Properties that their loan has been sold, that I'm the new lender, and that I'm exercising my right to demand immediate payment of all outstanding debt. $300,000, due in 30 days. If they can't pay, foreclosure proceedings begin. Samuel hesitated. Bumpy, that's Vito's home. His family lives there. You're threatening to evict a mob boss. No, Bumpy said quietly. I'm responding to a mob boss who threatened to take my club with the same energy. He wants to take what matters to me. I'll take what matters to him, not his office, not his businesses, his home, where he feels safe, where his family sleeps. Let him understand what it feels like. August 18th, 1958. The notice arrived. Delivered by courier. Legal document, official, cold, addressed to Coastal Properties, Inc. But everyone knew who really received it: Vito Genovese. The notice stated simply, loan sold, new lender, Johnson Holdings, LLC, outstanding balance $300,000, due immediately. Failure to pay results in foreclosure proceedings and eviction. You have 30 days. When Vito opened it, he went white, called his accountant. What the hell is this? The accountant looked at the document, checked the records. Boss, this is real. The bank sold our loan to someone named Johnson Holdings, and they're calling it due. We owe $300,000. Do we have it? Not liquid, not immediately. We'd have to sell assets, liquidate. It would take months. Vito's hands shook, with rage, with fear. Johnson Holdings, that's Bumpy. That bastard bought my mortgage, he bought my home. Vito called an emergency meeting, his top captains, his lawyers, his financial advisors, everyone. How did this happen? How did Bumpy Johnson buy my building's debt? His lawyer explained. The holding company that owns your building, Coastal Properties, it's been struggling. Late payments. The bank got nervous. When someone offered to buy the debt, they sold it. It's legal. It's business. And now Bumpy owns the note, which means he can foreclose if you don't pay. Vito slammed his fist on the table. So what do? We pay him? Do you have $300,000? The accountant asked. Vito didn't answer. Because he didn't. Not liquid, not available. He was wealthy. But most of his wealth was tied up in businesses, in operations, in investments. Coming up with $300,000 in cash in 30 days? Impossible. His consigliere spoke. Boss, maybe we negotiate. Reach out to Bumpy. Work something out. Vito's pride rebelled. Negotiate? With him? After I told him we're taking his club? Yeah, the consigliere said bluntly. After you told him that. Which is why he did this. This is a response. You threatened his business. He bought your home. And now you're in the same position you tried to put him in. Powerless. The word hit Vito like a punch. Powerless. Him, Vito Genovese, the man who'd killed his way to the top. The man who controlled half of New York's criminal operations. Powerless because some Harlem gangster had outthought him, outmaneuvered him, used the legal system better than Vito's own lawyers. August 20th, Vito requested a meeting with Bumpy. Neutral location. Just the two of them. They met at a diner in Midtown, sat across from each other. Vito spoke first, his voice tight, controlled. You bought my building. I bought your debt, Bumpy corrected. There's a difference. I don't own your building, yet. I just own the right to take it if you don't pay. $300,000 in 30 days. You know I can't raise that. Bumpy sipped his coffee. Then you'll lose your home. Your family will have to move. You'll have to find somewhere else to live, somewhere less secure, somewhere less comfortable. You'll know what it feels like to have someone take what matters to you. Vito's jaw clenched. This is about Small's paradise? Of course it is, Bumpy said. You threatened my club, my community's gathering place. You thought I'd just accept it, roll over, let you take what you wanted. Instead, I showed you that I can take too. And what I chose to take? Not your office, not your social club, your home, where you thought you were safe, where your family lives. That's what you threatened to do to Harlem. So I'm showing you what that feels like. Vito leaned forward. What do you want? Money? Territory? An apology? I want you to leave Small's paradise alone, Bumpy said simply. Forever. No threats, no takeovers, no interference. Harlem is mine. You stay in Little Italy, Brooklyn, the Bronx, wherever. But Harlem? That's not your territory, not your concern, not your business. Vito was silent for a long moment. And if I agree? If I back off Small's paradise? Bumpy reached into his jacket, pulled out an envelope, slid it across the table. Then I sell you back your building for $1. Legal transfer, no tricks, no conditions, except one. You sign a document, a formal agreement, witnessed by lawyers. That states the 5 families will never attempt to take Small's paradise, will never interfere with Bumpy Johnson's operations in Harlem. It's a treaty, a peace agreement, respect boundaries, maintain separation, coexist. Vito opened the envelope. Inside was a contract, already prepared, already written, with spaces for signatures. Bumpy had planned this entire confrontation, from the debt purchase to the meeting to the resolution. All calculated, all strategic. You're offering me my home back for $1 and a promise. Yes. Why? Why not just take it? You've got leverage. Because I'm not interested in your home, Bumpy said. I'm interested in peace, in boundaries, in respect. You threatened to take what's mine. I proved I could take what's yours. Now we both understand each other, and we can move forward with mutual respect, or we can destroy each other. Your choice. Vito read the contract. It was fair. Surprisingly fair. No hidden clauses, no tricks. Just a simple agreement. Small's paradise stays independent. Harlem remains Bumpy's territory. The 5 families stay out. In exchange, Bumpy returns the debt for $1 and doesn't interfere with Italian operations elsewhere. Vito pulled out a pen, signed, dated it, looked at Bumpy. You're smarter than I thought. You're more arrogant than I hoped, Bumpy replied. But we all learn lessons, some harder than others. They shook hands. A long, firm handshake. Not friendship, not trust, but acknowledgement, understanding, respect, built on mutual vulnerability. August 25th, the legal transfer completed. Bumpy sold the debt back to Coastal Properties for $1. Vito's home was safe, his family secure, the eviction notice withdrawn. And Small's paradise? It remained independent, thrived, continued to be Harlem's crown jewel for decades. But the lesson echoed throughout the 5 families, throughout New York's underworld. Bumpy Johnson had proven something important. You can't take what matters to someone without risking what matters to you. Power isn't just about force. It's about understanding vulnerabilities, knowing where someone lives, what they love, what they can't afford to lose, and being willing to target those vulnerabilities when necessary, not to destroy, to teach. Years later, in 1969, someone asked Vito Genovese about Bumpy Johnson. Vito was dying by then, in prison, facing his final years. And he was honest. Bumpy was the only man who ever made me afraid to go home. Not afraid he'd attack me there. Afraid I wouldn't have a home to go to. That's a different kind of fear. A smarter kind of fear. And it taught me something. You can control territory. You can control business. But you can't control a man who's willing to take everything from you legally. Bumpy fought me with lawyers and loans, not guns. And he won. That's power I never mastered. That's the legacy of the eviction notice. Not the threat. Not the leverage. But the restraint, the wisdom, the understanding that the goal wasn't to take Vito's home. It was to prove he could. And once that was proven, once the lesson was learned, peace was possible. Small's Paradise stands today as a historical landmark, a testament to Black excellence, to community, to the man who protected it, not with violence, with intelligence, with strategy, and with the understanding that sometimes the most powerful move is the one you don't have to complete. If this story moved you, subscribe. Drop a like if you understand that the best threats are the ones you don't have to follow through on. Share this with someone who needs to know that intelligence beats force every time. And in the comments, tell me, would you have given the building back or kept it as permanent leverage? More legendary stories coming next. Don't miss them.